Breathing. No. You waiting for the countdown, Charlie, or we can just go on? Greetings, greetings. It's
Greetings and blessings to the eye and the eye.
it is Sunday. It is Sadie Sunday. It is your Sunday, and we are going live, live, and live. This is Sadie Gomez of Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, coming local 26 Woman Auxiliary, coming to you live and alive, as we often do on this Sunday. We want to welcome each and everyone to our show this evening. We welcome our first guest on this evening, our first vice, and we also welcome Charlie, our engineer this evening. Thanking you all very much for showing up. It's Sunday, it's a beautiful Sunday evening, and what we do here, we would normally look at the news, we look at the things that would bother us for a while, we look at the things that would stimulate us for a while, we would take it from under the rug. And what we would do, we would put it right back just in case it really doesn't belong floating around because we like to examine things and put it right back. So this is what we do on this side of town, and we often have our guests come on. They are very brilliant and they fill in the spot of knowledge that we would possibly miss. And this is a welcoming family evening for the things that we do over on this side of town. So we welcome each and everyone, as I said, what is happening in the news this evening, what is happening in your life, and what we have been touching upon. So far, we have touched upon so many interesting topics, and this evening we like to kind of revive certain things we have talked about. We go from Africa to the Caribbean to US, Canada, we are all over the place, but with news and with truths. This is what we represent, this is what we talk about. So this Sunday evening, we think about spiritual development, spiritual awareness is a topic we have been talking about for quite a while. And it really doesn't end. It really cannot end since spiritual awareness is made applicable in your life on a daily basis to help you understand, overstand, or understand what is really going on or off in the spiritual realm and in life itself, where you can apply such knowledge to your life to alleviate certain problems. We have seen big on the forefront Africa. Africa is on the rise, and this is a very good thing. We have waited for so long to see a change being made. Some people were hopeful and they die waiting for this change, seeing that we, the Black people of the world, which the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated represents, we are concerned about the movement of the Black people, and particularly Africa, since most of the Black people, that's where they are. Let's say all of the Black people, since that land was specifically given for Black people, rich in minerals, rich in sunshine, and every other thing, a blessed land indeed. But yet still so much poverty upon the land. So we have been discussing what was going on in Africa and particularly keeping our eyes open for Burkina Faso and for our King Ibrahim Traore, which has been ongoing information about Burkina Faso and ongoing interest into what's happening at Burkina Faso. So this as well has made the news again. It seems to be quite an ongoing situation whereby the need to destabilize Burkina Faso and to have Ibrahim Traore work that he has done be thrown away or rather put at the seams in vain, so he can be frustrated enough and maybe forget about the things that he cared for his country and the purpose he was there in the first place. So I understand this has been another attempt to destabilize the country. This time, a coup attempt, I believe, at the Al Qaeda and the Burkina Faso people there, and about 200 or 300 people were killed. This was an awkward attempt, as I said, to destabilize Burkina Faso, but that is not going to be happening. Ibrahim Traore is pushing forward. He has a vision. He's a great leader. And to be a leader, there's a lot of pressure and problems that often comes with leadership. But this young man in Burkina Faso is being guided, really guided. And we are very proud of him, we should say. For we know that Africa has not seen such a leader in quite a long time. And for the various African leaders that we have seen in our time that had purpose and were moving forward in a direction that will seemingly kind or favorable to Black people, this particular leader or these leaders were taken down, taken away, and unalive. So very profound has this information be that now the world knows about it. You can no longer hide information as far as an African leader that has died. Because now, I don't know if it's AI has this going on, but Mr. Trump is on social media stating that the minerals, gold, and the wealth of Africa belongs to the West. Now, this could be a little absurd, but we do not know if this is a true statement or true bit of the news, seeing that now AI is corrupting a lot of things. But the picture of the president is there, and the words coming out his mouth, seemingly, allegedly, that minerals that are in the ground in Africa is owned by the people in the West. Now, this is this is quite absurd, and I would say out of timing, because at this present time, the children of the motherland are not really surrendering or planning to surrender at any point their minerals, their land, their gold, their diamonds. They are not planning to give up Africa. So Africa, once upon a time, was up for grabs, whereby they took the motherland and divided her into many pieces without authority, and they called it progress, while Belgium, France, England, America, they ate her up because she was their dinner. 5 countries you can have 10 countries, you can have, and so it has been for quite a while. But that has been so, but we remember the slavery days, remember the punishment that we have been under. But today, a great day to be alive and a great day to be wrapped in this chocolate melanated skin because that period is over. It is over in more ways than one and has been over so quickly that we know that 400 years is a long time and we have to wait for progress. But the 400 years has come upon us, and here we are in the new world, in a new time. A lot of people will slowly get there. Some of us has gotten there already, but the signs are there to show us the shift has been made. Africa is on the rise, whether we like it or not. And we are here to rise with her. We are here to celebrate her simply because we have waited for a long time. We really wanted to have this party for a long time. And in our heart of Hearts, we see people of Africa who are so deserving of what the Almighty has placed below their feet for their enjoyment, for their growth, and their sustenance. Finally, there's a voice standing proud without apology, telling you Africa is for the Africans and meaning it. A voice we have seen that if many African leaders could picture, pattern, take something from this young man, Africa is headed in the right direction. And it is, because there's a time for everything, as in the good books tell us, that every time there's a season, time to love, a time to hate, a time to plant, time to pluck up which thou have planted, a time to sow, a time to reap. There's a time and a season for everything. So we are definitely seeing there has been a change of time at this moment, and Africa is on the rise. It will also mean when one is on the rise, one will be going down. That's how the scale goes. So we don't have to do too much mathematics to see which countries has been up, which countries has been down. And with the shift and the tilt of the scale, we would know what was up is coming down. This will be soon to be coming to a town near you. It's not a case of let us stock up on water because you just cannot have it like that anymore to say, but there's going to be a big change coming our way, and that will be in our financial. This change must come because things are being resolved and things are also heading in a new direction. Actually, history, when we write the books, because it has been tainted and defiled, but history is going to be rewritten and there are going to be some new players in that book because we are going to write our own books and we are writing the truth. So it's a great day, as I said, to be wrapped in that melanated envelope, to be hanging out in there. It's a great day because truly Black people are on the rise. It is happening, it is happening, it is happening. Pleasantly so. We- Last conversation, we mentioned it in the fashion world, where we saw that the Met Gala celebrated Black fashion, Black designers, and everything was just Black and happy. But the powers that be, they know what's coming down. They know there's no way they can stop it because the time has come. That is why we are feeling so different. And if we are not just feeling different, we are seeing difference in the world because we are seeing the youths of Africa with their no nonsense approach to how they're going to run their Africa. We know a time has come and a change has certainly come. We didn't know how it would come. There's no bombs dropping, no guns and ammunition and helicopters in the air when that change came. But that change came through the mind. That change was really a change in the astral because you wake up one morning and most of Africa had one mindset. That change also is very frightening to a number of people who knows in their hearts that Africa could only be in the ground because of their survival. There are certain nations and groups and entities that would prefer for Africa to remain poor, Africa to remain in the ground, Africa to seem that they need help from the West, when in fact Africa doesn't. But Africa has found out this herself. And even if she had known it for quite a while, It was really a big strangulation into how she would maneuver this information. A large, vast country with the arms of the colonizer around her neck, squeezing and choking the life force out of her. And we are wondering, how could she survive? How could she get out? But she is shaking the shackles of the colonizers off her feet, taking the ropes off her neck, and she's going to move forward, embracing her children with outstretched arms, welcoming them back home. So Africa awaits us. The mother is there with all her love, all her kindness, and we ought to know that she is not diseased, she is not barren, and she has room in the house for every one of us because it was designed like that. And since they're throwing out some other people, I think they're making room for us. So we as a people, for too long, we have to make apologies. We have to make excuses. We have to hide in the shadows because it was not allowed to express how we feel, how we think, what we want to be, or even where we are going. We'll see where we came from because even today, I think they would like to erase the fact that slavery did happen. A lot of people, if they can shove that one under the rug, it may have to stay there. But it was too big a package to go under the rug. So we're not shoving that under the rug. And for most people who want to say to us, get over it, the answer is no. We are not going to get over it. We are very petty about it. We have lived it for 400 years. We remember what you all have done. We have the marks to show, the scars, psychological scars that are still there, and of course, our goods that has not been returned. So do not tell us to get over slavery. We are not going to get over slavery. It has been part of our history, our life, and our being. And furthermore, we will never get over slavery. Never, never, never. Simply because we have to remember not to get back there again or not to let anyone put us there again. So this has to be totally forefront in our mind just because we are not going to let it happen again. So don't tell us to get over it. No, that's not happening. We're there with it. So we are there and we're here, and it's Sunday evening. This is your host, Sadie Gomez of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. And of course, we're coming to you live and alive this Sunday evening. As we welcome each and every one into the studio, we're having a tiny bit in the studio, but oftentimes here's the grand listening audience who would often weigh in on certain subjects. So I want to hail up my brethren, Emmanuel Selassie. I happened to run into yesterday. I want to say, brethren, it's been a blessing. I know you listen to the radio station. I want to say one love and greetings because you'll be out there, although you're not in studio. So don't also greet each and everyone who's out there listening. My sisters, and I greet my sister Donna Gomez. She said she's going to come on today. So if she don't, please accept my greetings, Miss Donna Gomez. And I greet Laura as well and my other sisters. I do have a lot of sisters. And I am hoping Rebecca to come on. She's a busy, busy little missus, but she said she would try to come on as well. And we can talk, talk, talk. We don't have anything special that we are talking about, but we are greeting the families. So, first, Vice, welcome to the studio. Is there anything you'd like to chat about this evening? What's happening, First Vice?
Greetings and thanks for inviting me on your show. Yeah.
Welcome.
Respect and honor to each and everyone out there. Enough love and respect. Yes, I would love to touch on the Africa situation. You know, it's been years, hundreds of years. We, the black, the black, the bronze skin nation and people. We have been victimized, discriminated, all kind of wrongs against us, and yet we still don't come with any war and violence. because we are so godly oriented, we are so godly blessed, and we are so godly loved. That people from time to time come into our space to try overthrow us. But because we are so connected to spirituality, which is godliness, we don't even seem to want to defend ourselves. We don't even want to spill any blood. We don't even want to offend no one, although they are offending us. That's what we, the black people, go through, but not anymore. Not anymore. The Almighty says Ethiopia will soon stretch out her hands unto God. Back in the days, our foreparents, they fall and falter, and they left from the righteous tradition of our culture and our history and started to follow the Eden and the pagans. That's why we end up with this judgment. That's why we can't even fight out the enemy out of our own place. But not anymore. Our sentence is up, and we are looking forward to God and to righteous liberty and righteous laws and equal rights and justice. God is a God of equal rights and justice. God is not a God of partiality. Now, I have to address this situation because I always wonder why is it the black man? Why is it all the nation of the earth want to overthrow our place and take our place from us? I can't understand, but in my mind, I talk to the Creator, and it's like it is just David and Goliath, same way from the beginning to the end. David and Goliath is good and evil. You know that? Yes. And when you break it down, that's the ultimate. Good and evil is warring, and David will ever kill Goliath. Good will ever overcome evil. Light over darkness. Right over wrong. Right? So, what is happening now? We have been redeemed. It seems as if we could not unite ourselves, but we have to wait upon God's timing. This is the work of God. Babylon can't do nothing to what is happening in Africa right now. Nothing at all they can't do. Because Africa is the seat where the gods want to be. And God has his special security, protection for Africa. If Africa is defeated or overthrown, then darkness will be upon the face of the earth. When say darkness, not physical darkness, spiritual darkness. Right now, the laws of the Almighty is to keep the earth safe and prosperous and in peace and love. So if we are not abiding by the laws of the Almighty, then our corners will be dark as it was. But now God has forgiven us and is rising up the youths like Abraham Tory and places like Akino Fasa. This is the works of the Almighty. Right now, the Almighty is using us to unite our nation, protect our nation, because when we are far from God, we can't get no blessing. We can't get no help. You understand? And that's we as human beings here, our spiritual lives matter more than the physical life. Because you're already living your physical life, but your spiritual life is an extension. You understand? Extension of life. And right now, I'm so glad to see Africa uniting and my people, looking out for stop fighting against themselves and looking out for their country, their nation, and their people. Yes, the only way for we, the black nation, is to live righteous because we are children of blessed are the peacemakers, we are the children of God, right? And God is rising us up out of the dirt, out of the dust. Ain't no one can stop it. and any interference will be met catastrophically, judgmentically. You hear that? Blessed love, enough love and respect and honor every time. Rastafari. Blessed
We
love.
thank, we thank you so very much for your input in this conversation. And truly, the Almighty is rising us up because we have been disobedient to the Father, and the punishment came down on us, and it came down hard.
Yes.
And unless we return to that first love, it was no way we're going to get out of it. But I like what you said, and truly, we have to admit to ourselves the change has come. For those of us who are walking a little more spiritual, a little more in the realms of the spirit, we would understand or understand what is going on. The love for the Almighty has returned because it had to. It was the only way to relieve us from our bondage. Even now, if we look on social media, you are seeing a lot of folks having conversation along the spiritual realms, conversation about spiritual things, conversation about feeling different. Because in my bit of looking for conversation today, I scrolled down, I went into social media platforms, and I kind of want to feel the vibration of what is going on. And what I seem to notice along the way, a lot of people are having spiritual conversations which did, let's say, 5 years ago, was not held. Simply because what is happening now, people are unable to explain it. And spiritual things are not really easy to explain because it's new, it's different, and some of the explanations for the phenomena simply does not make sense. So therefore, when you have to articulate along spiritual lines, it's almost like the opposite to what you how your application is done in the physical realms, the physical plane, I should say, as opposed to the spiritual realms. So we know now, we see in Africa, we see in that difference, we see in that return, and we see in that love for the Almighty, the one true God. Because for a long time, we have been disobedient as a people within the collective, and we have strayed from the Almighty, and we had picked up a false god, and for some of us, we were beaten into it as well, seeing that slavery was such a wicked thing, where our spirituality was tampered with. It we were given this white blue-eyed boy with blonde hair and was called our savior, while in the fields, the very same equivalent was whipping our behinds into oblivion, I should say. But what do we do? It was punishment, and we know the time is over. And for Africa, we are not going back there again. So if it is, we have to be on our knees every single day, is that we're going to do because we are not giving up our land. We are not giving up our diamond, our minerals, and we really trying to keep you all out of our space because I understand in Niger that, you know, there are certain non-melanated ones are given until the 30th of probably this month, or if it's September at least, to get out. Because Africa now is standing very strong, unapologetically so, and are asking the white man to please leave. And leave you must, because if in the 30th day appointed for you to leave Niger and you're still hanging around, as the streets will say, you're up on your own. So take heed, take warning that Africa is for Africans. And we are happy that this day would come because I'm telling you, when I go across to the motherland, they cannot refuse me. They never would because there's a whole village of people looking like me and my face is Africa. I going home. So for all of us who know that there is a place to be on a serious level, we are getting ready. We are gathering ourselves together and the Exodus is here. Let us be aware For too long, it took a begging and a crying and a bruising for us to get ourselves together. And in the twinkling of an eye, on April 30th, when I saw what the streets of, of New York look like, the streets of France, the streets of certain parts of Africa, not all of Africa, because it's catching on slowly but very effectively. We saw England, UK. We saw that unity was not so far away from us. We saw that the mindset of the colonizers returning and staying as they did in our grandparents' time, that is on one with who is coming to do what, because the mindset of the youths, they in unity. We, some older generations, were struggling with in a unity and is speaking about the colonizers and you must unify and we have to get together. And it was all big talk. And big talk is good, but big talk with no action, mm, for what sense? We see the youths, our children, the 30 somethings and the 20-something-year old, they got on social media and there was no talk because after, a few clicks and OMGs, they were on the streets and they were ready. And this moment made us very proud. And of course, we see the effectiveness of social media, how quickly a crowd can gather. Social media and the digital platform is very useful for today's society, but very useful in spreading the word for the gathering and the collecting of we, the black people of the world. So we're going to use that beast to our advantage, and we are going to be collecting ourselves, sending out messages, and awareness of what time it is. This is why you have your slice of the pie on the side of tongue, because the whole pie is really, really, really not digestible. You take your slice on Sundays and you have your slice of wisdom throughout the week, and we come back on Sundays for another slice. But the slice of the pie this Sunday, we are letting you know it is a great day to be black without apology. Black and brown. And black has many shades, and we'll take every shade because we ain't leaving no one behind. One drop of blood is coming with us. So we see this proud moment. It may not be so much advertised in the West, but I am speaking African news here. Africans have gotten a new sense of pride. Also, the old men and the young people. I have seen it coming together, watching the news and watching the layout. Now, the West would keep the propaganda because if Africa remains divided, it will become a playground for the West. It is their backyard to come, reap, and take, loot, rape, plunder, whatever they like. But that was long ago. That was yesterday. But today, it's a brand new day dawning. And even though we may see social media events of, let's say, Mr. Trump running off his mouth speaking of the minerals in Africa belongs to the West, this also could be AI generated information, since that it is very good propaganda to start some foolishness in Africa, seeing that in chaos, this is where they can get in as a savior. And of course, we know what's the next bit of destruction that lays with us. So we are saying Africa for the Africans, meaning Africa for the Africans. And you would know that you don't belong, simply stay away. Because a new day is dawning, a new day has come upon us, and there are new rules, simply because there are new sheriff in town. The puppet masters and the puppets, they have had their time and are slowly dwindling away. But we are saying the puppet masters are slowly dwindling away. We have had enough of them. And what good is it for the people of Africa? The answer is none. The people of Africa has realized that having bedfellows like Macron and certain other people, it profit them nothing. There are some leaders in Africa still, you know, the bottom feeders. We cannot say much about those, but that too will fade away because with what's happening and the momentum and the way the big ball is rolling because the youths are non-stop with their activity and their action, Africa has no choice but to change. And the old ways has no choice but to surrender to the new ways because the time has come, the change has come, and we are here just every single day living it. For a few of us who don't know, who has not yet felt it, I say try to run and catch up because we have moved in to that new place whereby operations are different. As I said, there's a new sheriff in town. The rules has changed. Spiritually, we have to stay more connected with the Almighty. It is our only way out. Now, there was a time when our grandparents, great grandparents, or so far back, they ran to church on a Sunday. And church was the place to go, church was the place to be. It's not bad going to church because you can see your friends, and where the twos and threes are gathered in the midst, the Almighty said He is there and to bless. So church should be a really good place to go for your spiritual development. But now we are seeing that has been used on our Africans for far too long with the control and command that religion took on us. And the youths of Africa are telling you they put that white Jesus to rest together with a few other of the bad books. And they had a grand big bonfire in the Congo. And that was earlier on this year or late last year. No, no, in 23 actually. So this slow awakening is taking place. It is in fact taking place. And a lot of African youths are telling you they have returned to their form of spirituality. And that cannot really be tapped into. That cannot be, let's just say, it's not up for grabs, up for sale, but it's something that once we tap in, it's buried deep down in our DNA, and we have to awaken that part of us. And it's that is where folks that are saying, I'm awoke, I pray for those who are saying such a thing, that your spiritual part of you is awakened, because that is the part of you to take with you into this here dispensation. We are operating on spiritual levels right now. Right now, even if you have your earthly, your carnal behaviors, you will be struggling to apply it in your daily existence. We have lifted our spiritual vibration. And for those who haven't, they will have to get there because the earth herself has done such a thing. Slowly, you can see on social media, a lot of people want to talk about something different. A lot of people want to feel different. The old paradigm, the violence and the pain and the depression and the stress has taken a hold on us. And we would really like something different. Our spirit is crying out and longing for something different because deep down inside, we are spiritual beings that has been starved for too long. And now that we are awakened like babies, we are crying because we are hungry and we need to be fed. We see, we made that conversation one time on our show that babies, once they wake up, they are now hungry. And when they're hungry, they're going to cry and you have to feed them because such would be how the things will go now that we have entered into a different playing field. But I really thank God today for life. Thank God for Africa, and thank God to see what's happening in Africa and with the black people of the world. If you look around and you notice, a lot of things are just looking different. And we are here in the West and we are seeing Make America Great Again. And surely there's nothing wrong with that. That the browning and darkening of America has been something that was not quite digestible with a lot of people. And America would like to have her vanilla color back again. And that she shall have because where our treasures are, that where our heart shall be, and that is in the motherland of Africa. Because this dry and barren land, if the economy should fall in the direction that it's heading in a little while from now, it will be everybody know where she is, but who wants to go there? So let us not be weary or let us not be in dismay of the things that are happening, that we should feel saddened by certain decisions that are being made by the heads in this country. But nothing can happen unless the Almighty God allows it. So sometimes we see something happen, we say, oh my gosh, what a bad thing has happened. But in the life, it is still being controlled by the Almighty. He's still in charge, he's still on his throne. And certain things that we see happen has been allowed to happen for other things to happen. And we do not know the mind of God. So let us be of good courage, be of good faith, and hold fast to the things that are good, that are righteous. For this day has come where we are going to see who is really in charge. The change, as I said, has come. For those who have not yet caught on or catch up, please don't get left behind. Things are moving really fast. And we spoke in our topics before about spiritual awareness. Take a time out. Things are going too fast. Take a time out. Let's just say take half an hour of your busy schedule, 24 hours of a day. Let's just start with half an hour. You're left with 23 and a half left to do whatever you want. But take half an hour. Make it a practice. Make it a daily routine to have a quiet time, a quiet space where you can meditate, where you can relax of things of this world. Shake everything out of your head. Get to that quiet place. Get into the act of meditation or just simply relaxation to just to start. Relax your mind. Think just not of earthly things. Think of spiritual things. Think of pleasant things. Think of nature to start. Because one will say, how do I get spiritual? How do I know God? He is simply all around us, in us, above us, and present with us for those who see that need to connect deeply in spirit and in truth. For those of us struggling right now with what is going on, we will feel certain pressures of the mind, pressures whereby our mental health is deeply affected when we go through pressures of the mind and stressful situations. But this time, within the spiritual development, we are seeing the spiritual lack. We are seeing the starvation within the spirit. And this is where a lot of people are coming into this sort of malnutrition of spiritual food, spiritual things, spiritual thoughts. Also, in this period of time whereby you feel an elevation, I would strongly suggest to you as a guideline for behavior, you surround yourself with people of a like mind. So it has been written and has been told, but oftentimes we forget. But we have to know that like minded individuals work better in harmony. This is a case for your private life, your public life, your social life, understanding harmony. Spiritual development brings about harmony. And if you're not in tune with someone like minded within that spiritual development, you're going to have pulling and tugging. You're going to have what we call a tug of war because you are not equally yoked. And we were told that be not unequally yoked with unbelievers because, our suffering goes there. So we have to see the scale and balance of surrounding ourselves with people of a like mind, people who are flowing on that high spiritual vibration as well, people that you can have a conversation with, that you won't feel totally bugged out, people that are flowing smoothly within your your lane, I should say, or your levels as we grow. We have to observe that. And this is done for our comfort and our development. So as we see, we're going along, like-minded people and people of the same spiritual awareness and development we really need to gather themselves together, for where the twos and threes are gathered together in his name, it is there to bless. So as we're going along this way, we ought to really be selective of the people that are around us, especially now. For toxic energy is one that cannot be easily seen or felt sometimes because it could come in disguise. Because I'm telling you, these 2025 demons, they up and up with some things, so they can sneak up on you real easy. They're not the 19th century ones, they are the 21st century ones. They're sharp as that. But not jokingly, but seriously, we are seeing a different type pain coming upon the earth, a different type of fear will also come with it. And this is a case of spiritual things. As we grow and we develop, it is nice when we slip back into spiritual things. First vice, we go in there. It is nice enough. And Charlie, we're slipping into spiritual things again. So Charlie's here with us. We want to say a big up to Charlie. Charlie's our engineer. He has been here with us for like 7 years since, we've been doing this segment, and we really appreciate Charlie. So, Charlie, big up and thank you. We didn't plan our pictures and things rolling around, but we are making pretty pictures on this side, so we could. So, we speak, yes,
Listen, it
greetings.
always it's always so much to talk about, especially when we're talking about what's happening in Africa, or the spirituality, and what's going on at this time. We really don't even need pictures, especially if you're in America. All you got to do is look out the window. All you got to do is turn on your TV. And when you see the stuff that's going on, you know that we're living in a very, very special time. And if there ever was a time that we needed to wake up, now is that time. And in fact, our awakening is part of the problem that you see now. It's our awakening is the fatigue that these our Caucasian counterparts are now saying that they are experiencing, right? Because we've come to realize, and you talked about the young people, they're not us. We and our parents proved the fact that they don't care about us, right? So we thought that if we could just be around them, if we could just be treated equally, if they could just get to know us, they will know that we're a peaceful people. They will know that we mean them no harm. That's what we thought. What we didn't know and what we didn't realize is that our peace causes them pain. Our success causes them pain. They hate to see us comfortable. They hate to see us enjoying ourselves. They hate to see us successful. That's why you got Rosewood. That's why they want to tore down the Black Wall Street. That's why you have what happened in Greenwood. That's why we're finding black communities that have been flooded because they do not want to see us succeed. Okay? Case in point to prove it. Things went left. You know, I often think about Tupac. Tupac got a song, and one of the lines in his song it says that America is not ready for a black president. And America was not ready for a Barack Obama because less than 90 days after Barack Obama became the president, they formed the Tea Party. Less than 90 days. They formed the Tea Party, and the Tea Party has been the nucleus of what we see today. They become emboldened. It's like they could no longer hide their racism. It will be shaken out. They try to hold it in, but it'll seep out anyway because that's who they was, right? And that's what happened after Obama. The problem is Trump comes along and says, listen, don't hold it. Let it out. Let your racism be your power. All right? And so our young people have said, we know you don't like us, you don't want to be around us, but guess what? We don't want to be around you either. All right?
Think that.
And we are not scared of you. We are not our parents. I keep hearing these people say, we're not our grandparents. We're not our ancestors. We're not our ancestors. We're not taking what our ancestors have taken. We're not going to do it.
That's right.
Those days are over. We are awakening. We've come into the understanding that there is a divinity in our DNA that gives us a direct connection to the source. However way you identify source, whether you call it a source, Jah, God, Allah, whatever you calling source, we understand that there's a direct connection now within the melanated DNA, and that we are divine entities having a human experience here on the third dimension. And we have been incarcerated into a cell of cells that make us believe we are the image or the reflection that's coming back out of the mirror. But what is happening now, in that DNA, in that awakening, you will see the establishment trying to erase the history of the gods and goddesses. They are attacking the history books and taking out those stories. They're attacking the African American library. They want to take out everything out of the Smithsonian. They remove all the black militaries off of the website. Everything has been anti-black, except you can put out all of the black and brown people, but we bring in white racists out of South Africa in a blatant lie that they've been a part of a genocide. They ain't been a part of no damn genocide. It's a lie, and the president is lying. And we got to get to the point where we're not afraid to stand up and say with our full chest, you a liar. This is not what's going on. This is all a part of a plan to continue or to try to wipe us out, which is not going to happen. You can't get rid of us because we are the progenitors everywhere you go. I don't care where you go in Europe. When you do the history, we already there. There's no date when we arrive. We already there before everybody else. We was first in line. We got to the party first.
It was our party.
It was our party. The question is, where the hell you come from?
Who invited you?
Right? Who invited you? And you've done nothing but been a disease, a dis-ease on this land. Everywhere you go, it's been left with destruction, okay? Colonization, people being slave, capitalism, people being slave just so that the rich could get rich and the poor can get poor. That's the system, all right? It's rigged, and it's rigged that way unless you know. Now what's happening now? We're waking up and we're saying enough is enough. And
Linking
black
and
people
hanging.
are coming together. Black people are coming together, and they're putting their energies together. They're putting their funds together. And see, that's real important. We haven't taken to the street. We're preparing though. Just look around. Look at the black militias that are preparing. They're in the thousands. Okay, you got the Hebrew Israelites. They're preparing for war. They're in the thousands. They're in the street, lined up for 9, 10 blocks long. So they're not playing. They're prepared on either end. There's those of us that have awoken as far as spirituality is concerned. And then there's those of us that have awoken and said, listen, if we going to war, let's go. If we're going to fight, let's fight. Let's do it. Because we know that's what you've been itching to do. And we know you think you have the advantage, but you do not.
Not this time, right?
Not this time. What did Kendrick Lamar say? This time God favors us.
What favors us? Yeah.
Can they
God
fight
favors
Mother Nature? That's where our defense is, you know. The gods will use Mother Nature to defend us. Earthquake, storm, bad cyclone, tsunami, you talk it, disease, judgment, death, hell. That's where it is right now. And Mother Nature will take vengeance for us. Judgment and justice is the habitation of God's throne. So a righteous judgment is coming because it's no secret. It's God and Satan is warring. Which side are you on?
right.
That's
That's
it.
where it's at now. Pick a side. Pick a
Yes,
side.
that's where it is.
Pick a side. Choose
Yes,
ye this day
yes.
whom you shall serve.
Susie, where will you spend long eternity?
Draw the
Yes,
line in the sand. This is
yes,
where we
man.
at. And so unless we stand up and be who we supposed to be, we will always be weaklings. We will always be crying to our oppressor
If we
to
if
do
we don't
something
stop,
for us.
if we
Forget
don't
them
stand
doing
up,
something for us. We can do it for ourselves. We
yes, we
don't
don't
need
need
them.
no help
We
from
don't need
strangers.
them. We've been
No,
brainwashed into believing that we did, but we don't.
not even their money. We don't even need their money. We have enough money.
No, we don't. We
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 don't.
we bring in trillions of dollars as a people ourselves.
Exactly.
Trillions of dollars. But here's what happens. We don't keep trillions of dollars. So the system is rigged that there is no circulation amongst the black community. There's no circulation amongst black people because even though we earn and we have in our hands enough money to be the sixth largest financial nation, soon as we give it, we get it, we give it away. You understand? It don't stay in the community. So it's like in the so-called Jewish community, it said that the money circulates 24 times before it leaves the community. Asian community, this money circulates 16 times before it leaves the community. And the black community, the money stays for 6 hours. There
Wow.
is no circulation. Okay?
6 hours.
6 hours. Because the moment we get it, we got to take it and we got to give it to the Jewish landlord. If our ladies are getting their hair done, all right, they're giving it to the Koreans. They're getting their fingernails done. They're giving it to other communities besides themselves because why? We don't own anything. We may own a barbershop. We
Mm.
may own a beauty parlor, and then we may have a church. We don't even own a liquor store no more. And the only other business person in the community, not even in the community, it ain't community because we're not community because we don't own a damn thing. But in our neighborhood, the only other entrepreneur in the neighborhood is the drug dealer,
The weed man?
the weed man. Yeah.
He better go out of business.
So we will when we learn these principles, when we get these understandings, and we've changed our mindset is changing on its own. It's evolving. It's being lifted up. Okay, because we're living in a different time. We're living in we're living in a different dispensation. We're living in a new millennium. Our whole earth, our whole solar system, okay, is moved into another part of space. And so we're picking up different light code information. We understand that inside of light is information. And so we're getting different light code information now that we're here in the age of Aquarius. And it is waking people up faster. It's been a long time. It's been going because I thank God I had these understandings back in the late 70s, early 80s. All right.
Yeah.
So early 80s, the late
That's
70s,
when that,
early
that's
80s,
when Malachi Z. York started speaking to us.
when Malachi Z. York started speaking to us. In fact, when I first left the church and I heard Malachi Z. York, I wasn't ready for Malachi because he sounded like he was still pumping the same stuff. But after I began to get more and more enlightened and understand more and more things, I was able to go back to Malachi Z. York and listen to what he said and put all of those pieces together and understood the wealth of knowledge that this man had. Okay. But he suffered the consequences of every other black man when he begins to have an influence on black people. They put the system in place to begin to tear them down,
Destroy him.
to destroy them. This is their system. They do it to everybody.
Yes.
They put out there first they create negatives about the person. Then they put stuff out there in the media and media begin to turn you against your own people. They do it all the time. All right. And especially when it comes to money. Look what they did to Michael Jackson. Look what they did to Prince. Look what they did to Bill Cosby. All right. Look what they did to the black fella from Johnson and Johnson. This is what they do. We can go on and on. Look at what they're doing to P. Diddy.
Oh,
We sat around, we talk about P. Diddy like a dog. We call P. Diddy this, we called them that, we called them this, that, and the other. And now we're sitting and listening to the trial. And we're like, well, what the hell? Where's the crime?
being black.
Where's the crime? So we
He,
bought into their system. I know the trial's still going on, but we bought into our oppressors' beliefs system. They fed us the story. You understand? They
yes.
feed us the story. We buy into the story, and then they begin to take actions. And then the stuff that they don't want to be out, they suppress it. All right. P. Diddy list is all over everywhere, all over the internet, all over the court. Everybody that was in the party, who did this, who that, is all over everywhere. Where the hell is the Epstein list?
Oh no. It was the same people that came to the party. You don't need
Same
to.
damn people.
You just need to put a copy.
So
Okay.
I'm
So,
saying,
you was not invited. You know that.
yeah, I know. I wasn't invited.
So
Thank God.
don't be a sour grapes because you didn't get a bottle of baby oil. You know, come on, I'll give you a Christmas present.
Listen, I want no baby oil. I've been to the restaurant, Jesters. I'll have some more of them shrimps though.
Okay. I heard the eating mermaids, you know. Would you like a delicacy?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and this information is important that we do talk about, that we do discuss, that we do get this information out there, so that we can all be clear. One of the things that is working, and I would tell people, I hope everybody that's listening on the sound of my voice, that what has been working is the quiet riot. And the quiet riot has been us directing our money, holding our money and putting our monies as a collective where we wanted to go, and removing it as a collective from where we don't want it, where those companies aren't supporting our issues, then you're not getting our money. Target is feeling the pain of following Trump's DEI nonsense. Walmart is feeling the pain of following Trump's DEI nonsense. Why? Because we've removed our money out of those equations. Now, what if we've been taking our money, removed them out of those equations, and only put them back into black companies? Okay, there's plenty of black companies out there that got the same thing, got the same type towels, got the same type pots, pans, and whatever else you can get out of Target and get out of Walmart. We could have put that money someplace else, just simply circulating the money amongst ourselves to create sustainability and independence for ourselves, instead of having had to go back to our colonizers, back to those that have held us hostage. And I know there's a lot of us still suffering from the Stockholm syndrome. We still think Massa good. We still think Massa care for us. Okay. We still think we the same. Massa, we sit. How we's doing, Massa? We.
Yeah.
You understand?
If master sick, you sick.
If Massa sick, you sick. If Massa happy, you happy. You understand? And so a
Good
lot
with
of
the time for master's headache.
yeah, a lot of us is still stuck in that Stockholm syndrome, where we believe that, if we could just show Massa we's good black folk.
Yeah. But Charlie, there's something that you were talking about, and I can't help but want to add to it concerning Walmart. Walmart right now, you have to try to do the self checkout line because Walmart is missing a few cashiers. And
Yeah,
that is simply because you all send all the peoples away.
you send them all away.
And now I want to give you, I was hoping that someone could weigh in on this who had an actual experience. In the self cash out, the prices are different. So if you go to a regular cashier, you pay $18. In the self cash out, you pay $28. It's a little rig there as well. So for people who are listening, of course, the million others who are out there, be aware of the self, that cash out because the prices are a little different. The system is rigged. But Walmart right now is having a problem with cashiers. I mean, it's either they're not coming to work or they left. I mean, I don't know what happened.
Listen, they in El Salvador. You know what I mean?
Oh, Charlie. Everybody's going to El Salvador now. I wonder.
Everybody going to El Salvador. Listen, they got reports, and they can do the numbers now on the decrease in housing production. All right, because the workers have left. There's nobody to build the roofs, nobody to chop down the trees, to cut the grass. They gone already. They out of here because they don't want to fool around with ICE and then wind up in jail somewhere. Okay, so all of these things are happening in front of us. It's almost as if they are deliberately, number one, trying to crash the economy with these taxes and these tariffs and stuff. And I've been saying for a long time, I've been saying for years now, look like they're trying to have a food shortage. We've seen the reports when they was paying the farmers to throw away the food,
Destroy the crop.
and destroy the crop.
Yeah.
And then tell them if you don't destroy the crop, you won't get another dime from the government.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You see, they left all of those. They held up all the ships at the port where the containers wasn't coming in, and all of those things. You think
Yeah.
that was by accident? All of that
Was designed. That was
is by
designed.
design. All of that is by design.
But there's something very interesting happening, though, as we speak of the way that the people are disappearing from the country, if we should see there are different people coming into the country, which we see as the South Afrikaners, which are the white
Right,
Africans who are in
right.
South Africa, who seemingly had a problem about genocide. I mean, this really didn't
They ain't had
exist.
no damn genocide problem. They was the ones that was part of the damn genocide. And because Africa woke up and took their damn land back, now they want now they hurting. Bump them. They should know we don't want them here. I don't want them here. Listen, it's too late to be nice, Sadie. It's too nice. It's too late for all of this political because we're at war. And so we don't stand up and take a position. And we don't let our voices be heard. And we want to be patsy about it. They're going to just keep treating us that way. Until we stand up and say, we're not going to have it. We're not going to take it. I'm not buying. I'm not being nice to you. I am no longer responsible for your comfortability. I don't care if you're uncomfortable or not.
Not my business. Not my business.
That ain't my business. You uncomfortable? You uncomfortable. Get comfortable. Damn it.
But I'm wondering if these same South Afrikaners can plant the tomatoes because, they wasn't planting tomatoes where they were over there. So they're coming to be a burden, except, they're wrapping a different um, wrapper, but they are going to be a burden on the society. So let's see how that works
You
out.
know what they're doing? They making America great again. They're making America great again.
Listen, I am just saying there's a madman at the helm, and people are going to go rogue in a little while from now. So let's just say make Africa great again because we would not like the brick to fall on our head before we know what time it is.
Oh my goodness.
First Vice, how come you're the only person with a blue ceiling that has clouds?
Your mic is off.
Yeah. My mic is off? Oh, his mic is
No,
off.
his mic.
Do you see First Vice is having a time walking around and we're seeing clouds?
It's dark every place else, but I guess this
Blue skies.
Shekinah glory is following
We're,
first.
we're seeing blue First Vice, we're seeing blue skies and white clouds. We're trying to figure out where you are because everywhere else
Oh,
is dark.
It's night
I,
everywhere
I,
else.
I stepped
Where he at?
outside to get my grandson some ice cream. He's left with me, so I'm on the outside. I
Well,
didn't realize I had my mic muted.
that's okay. But we're happy to see that, you're enjoying our
Yes,
show from the outside. And we in the warm studio, but you having fun outside. It's okay. We're happy
of
with that.
course. Yeah, me and
And we are
Enjoy.
JJ is on the outside.
You tell your grandson I said enjoy his
Yes,
Mr. Softy.
yes, he's having ice cream and you don't get back change. How much? No.
well, we're going live and we are stopping by for ice cream.
Yes.
We are live and alive. So for this evening, we examine so many different things, but what we're really thinking about is our stand within this time as far as we, the black people of the world. We, the black people of the world, have reached a point where, as Charlie just said, we're not taking shorts anymore and we're not making any apologies. And you cannot be up in our face with certain things because we're certainly not having it. It's the time has passed for all of that nonsense. We are moving forward. We are calling a spade, and we are moving forward. And as some things are too big to go under the rug, so there are certain things we definitely ain't going to put under the rug because it just cannot fit. So let's deal with situations as they come. Let's observe things hands on. And as the old people would say, let's grab the bull by the horn. So this is a case where the truth is out. It's too late to turn back. It's too late for lies. And we are not going down that route because the young people of the nation, of Africa, and surrounding who are aware of what black means, they are telling you one time it's a great day to be black, and they're not taking no short. No matter of fact, the only thing they're taking is Africa back. They say give us back our land, our gold, our minerals, and they also send a message to Belgium, send back our artifacts as well. We would allow you all to keep just the memory of the things you all have done, but we want our stuff back, and it's a fact. Send
You know,
our
they
things
put the
back.
American ambassador out of Burkina Faso.
Oh, there we go.
They put him out like, yo, get your
Thank
behind
God.
out of here.
Because you're FA and
They showed it. They
FO and
put
FA, right?
they put him out. That's right. The FAFO.
Yep.
You know.
Because you all think we were joking. Just when you think we were joking.
No, listen. There's a new. There's a listen. There's a scripture that says, "Created me a new heart, uh, and renew the right mind within me."
Oh, yes, the right spirit.
Our minds are changing. So
Yes.
any change that you have in your life is because you changed your mind. All right. And when
Yeah.
you change your mind, it gives you a different emoting or gives you different emotions that are
Look,
coming down from your hypothalamus gland to your pineal gland that docks on your cells that cause you to feel a different way. We as a people have had a change of mind. We've woken up and says, no, this is nonsense. We're not doing this any longer. We're not taking it any longer. Africa belongs to Africans. See,
Yes.
we were under a slave mentality when they let those white boys come in into that continent and break it up and make 54 different countries for their benefit.
Yeah.
And broke it
Divide
up and
the
said, okay,
soil.
well, you're going to take this, you're going to take that, y'all going to take this, you're going to take that. And we sat around and just let them do it. Okay?
Yeah.
These young people, our children, they're now in their 30s, okay, have said, bump that.
And try that once more. You did that before and we said nothing, but don't try that again.
Don't try it again. Don't try it again. In fact, what they're saying is, I wish you would try it again. And I'll show you the mistake that you've made and that we are not. Listen, you know that the energy was different when we saw the Montgomery Alabama brawl. When the black people came to the rescue of that one guy on the dock and beat the living doo-doo out of those white people with that
No,
chair.
before you go on to that, we have to give that swimmer a gold medal. That's what I'm saying. The black community have to give that swimmer a gold medal. That's all I want to say.
He jumped. That was something from a movie. He jumped off that boat, swam to that dock, and got up on the dock swinging.
It was the best I've seen.
It was listen. I was so proud of them. I've had a lot of moments that I was proud to be black. That definitely made the list. Okay,
I top, I top the list. I think Kendrick Lamar performance was go second. The Super Bowl
yes,
performance.
right. Kendrick Lamar performance was way up there. And if you look at it, what did he say? He said the revolution will be televised.
Taliban. This
And he
time.
also said, like I said earlier, this time God favors us. This time
Yes.
God favors us.
This
So
time.
it's not like it's been before. So the young kids, they call them the YNs. All right?
Uh-huh.
They call them the YNs.
Mm-hmm.
They've been having and they've been armed for years. And they've been running around shooting at each other based off vibratory frequencies that have been put in the airways by those record labels that are owned by Zionist Jews.
That's
And I
true.
hope that these black kids will just kill each other off. Well, we've killed some of each other, but we didn't kill all of us. And they still got them guns. Them guns that y'all put in the street.
With a new mindset.
They got them guns with the new mindset. So you can play if you want.
We now have a different we now have a different ratio going on.
Right. And we got a different ratio, we got a different mentality. Okay. We don't have
Yeah,
the arms they got. So let's not kid ourselves. We don't have the
true.
arms they got,
True.
but we're not totally defenseless.
And also with that will to survive, you know what that
Right.
means. That's
Right.
greater than the gun.
Well, look what we've done without the arms.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay. Look what we've done without the arms. Imagine what we could do.
Yes.
And
Survival
they own
101.
the guns. And then also, if it get real crazy, they got to remember that half the military is black.
And since
That
you're
they
not allowed to go back, and it's your last rodeo, you can really
right.
get on if you want.
You go. You know, and so we know. Let's not kid ourselves. They're trying to make the country white, right?
Yes.
So now they're
Straight up.
having conversations about this birthright residencies, about being
Yes.
born, okay, in being born here. And so what they're doing too, they're going back to the Constitution. And I'm telling you now, they're coming to the point to say that those that are descendants of the slaves, okay,
Yes.
do not have the right to stay here. They're going to turn it down. They're
Yes, it's
going to
getting
try.
there.
They're
It's
getting
getting
there.
there.
All
It's
you got to
getting
do is
there.
watch. You got to just listen and pay attention.
But I want to tell you one thing before they get there, Charlie. They're going to affect racial marriages.
That's the other
Before they
thing
get
that they didn't have
they,
before.
they must attack that. Yes.
Back then, when they was doing it during Jim Crow, during the black laws, right? Interracial marriages was an anomaly. It's not an anomaly any longer. It's percentages now, big
Yeah.
percentages. So you have
What?
those relationships. You have the children from those relationships. And for
But
what
you,
it's worth, we just recruited all the redheads. We just recruited all the gingers. All the gingers running around now talking about they got red hair. They just found out through DNA that all gingers are really black.
Oh,
So
yes. But you know, the Almighty did tell us to get out of Babylon. Get out and find your fig tree. Our fig tree is not in America. But this is to show black people that America doesn't welcome us. They have a White House. Why didn't they have a Black House? The White House is for the white man and the white city and the white people. So we who are the children of slavery, they're telling that we belong to Africa, and they are right. They are right. We don't belong here. There is no justice for no black man in America. Is there a black constitution to defend us? Police can kill us like dog. No, not even dog. Dog have more rights than black people right now in America. Dog. You can't do anything to a man, dog, but you can kill a man because it's like the color of my skin I must be crime. The color of my skin must be my crime because I don't commit no other crime. You understand? So the color
right,
of
that
my
is your
skin is
crime.
crime.
That is
It
your
is a
crime.
crime.
It
Yes.
is. And not
Yeah, it
only
is.
is it a crime, it's an indication of your superiority.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So they are immediately offended by your
Ye-
superiority. So because they're
Yes.
weak, all they want to do is get rid of you.
Definitely. Definitely.
And they have not been able to do that. They haven't been able to do that because they are not original and we are. So you can't get rid of us. You are the ones, and they recognize that are dying off. Okay? They're dying off. That's why listen, why do you think they got rid of Roe v. Wade and make it illegal for a woman to have an abortion? That's not for black women. That's for white women. They're trying to preserve white babies to try to prolong and keep the white race going because they are dying off. They cannot reproduce. Anytime you have, we talked about interracial. Anytime you have an interracial relationship, you look at that child, you see none of them children come out white. You can see the blackness all in them.
Yeah.
What
Black
you will
dominates.
see is
The dominant force.
Right. But their primary gene is black because it's a superior gene. If the white was a superior gene, when the interracial child is born, it would be the other way around. They wouldn't have kinky hair. You understand? They would have dog hair. I mean straight hair, like the other their ancestors did. But it's not.
You're right. You're right. Because John the Baptist, although it's coming from the colonial King James Bible, John the Baptist said he saw Christ in the middle of the candlestick in a vision, and his hair was wool, and his eyes was red, and his skin was brass. And that's we, the royal family. That's why we get in so much fight. We are, if they want to call him Jesus, but we are Christ's immediate family. And we are left here to carry on Christ's legacy of good over evil, right over wrong, light over dark. You understand? And God over Satan. That's the real facts of earth, reality.
But we haven't done that though, right? We haven't done that though. So you have to ask yourself, why haven't we done that? He said, greater works than these shall you do.
Yes.
That you see me do. But we haven't done it.
Well, it's right? Left for us to do. That's what left for us to do now. To make
but here's what happened.
To unite the earth.
It is left for us to do. But we got to change our mindset in order to do it. Because what our colonizers have done is they have led us to believe in worshiping Jesus as opposed to following the teachings of Yeshua. I got to say Yeshua. Exactly. I can't even say that word.
Yahweh, Yeshua. Yeah, man, you're right.
Yeah, I can't even say Yeshua, that word. I understand it really for what it is. For many, many years, even before this knowledge came out here. But and so we have not practiced those things on any ritual basis that Yeshua has taught us. So he said, when you see me, you see the Father. The Father and I are one. You and I are one. Greater. Okay? Greater works
so
than
these. When they see us, that's what happened to them.
I didn't destroy the law. I came to fulfill the law. What does coming to fulfill the law mean? Not to destroy it, but to fill in the broken pieces, the missing pieces that's in it, that's keeping you from operating with the God within. And so listen, if you go back and you read the scripture and you read, and I got this, I broke it down in my book, Negronomics. If you go back and you read the scripture, every time the children of Israel was in captivity, the mistake that they made was they took on the God of their captors.
They started to serve idols.
They served the God of their captors. So you have to ask yourself, am I serving the God of my captors, or was there something else before this that my people, that my ancestors worship, that my ancestors prayed to before this? before we became into captivity, before we landed on the shores of North America, before they dropped us off in Trinidad and in Jamaica and all of these other places. What was we doing before then? Who was we praying to before then? What was our spirituality before then? Before they gave us this Bible that told us to
Before
turn the other cheek, that told
before
us to
they drunk us
obey
with the
your
wine
servant.
of, we were drunk with colonialism. Colonial, the wine of colonialism. Our people and nation is drunk. So as you said, we have to have a new mindset, new teaching. We have to educate our people about history. You understand? A lot of our people are dark when it comes on to history. They don't know nothing. They don't know the truth. So we who know the truth have to reveal the truth to them, so they can have a free spirit, because the truth will set you free. If you don't know the truth, you don't know nothing. You do not
Right.
know where you're going or where
I
you're coming from.
always say, who we praying to? Toby's God or Kunta's God?
That's a very serious question, because the Babylon, the pirates, they want us to serve their God. And there is no blessing and no progress in praising idols. We have to be in line with the true and living creator of Iration. The man who set the laws and set the borders and give orders. The man who the wind and the sun obey. You understand? That's our God. So when we stray from that man or that lineage, we can't have no prosperity. We can't have no freedom. We must be in captivity. But now our sentence is over. Our people is being united and stop fighting against themselves. Because that was one of the this tragedy that Babylon used on us. They keep us apart, divide and rule. You understand? But African ain't no fool. Divide us and get us weak. Now we are together, so we must get stronger. We are together now. So we will be strong, unite and defend our nation and our people. You understand? No more Babylon tool cannot work on us, the black nation. You understand? They divide us. They give us the Bible and them take the gun. See right there now? Our enemy almost stronger than us in our own land. Thank God for Akino Fasa. Thank God for Abraham Tory and all these great ones that the Almighty is rising up. You understand? We have to wrap up our support and our energy in the vibration of the unification of Africa. You see it, and the African people. Yeah, man, we are come together and get rid of the enemy. We are not the enemy. We have to fight the enemy. We have to stop fight ourselves. And that's the way we will prosper and conquer when we are together. And they know it. They do not like to see one, two, three, four, five black people together, even in Jamaica. Even in these so-called colonial places. Once 4 or 5 black men is together, it's a problem. So we must recognize how powerful our unity is. You understand? Our unity is so powerful that they fear it so much. They fear when we are together. Yes. But they can't stop it anymore. This is the work of the Almighty. So sit back and watch the Almighty work for us. 'Cause we can't fight them. We have nothing to fight them. Yes, the serious time we're in, serious thing is gonna happen right now. Ethiopia, we're stretching out our hands to God. We've been serving the devil, but now we realize that serving the devil brings destruction and poverty and judgment. But no, it's such a pleasure to see my people uniting and fighting for their birthright. Africa, this the French and all these other nations around there, sucking out with diamond, with gold, with ruby, and our minerals, sucking out, and into our own country, giving us argument. So much people suffering in Africa, and these guys taking our wealth and building up their places. So these things got to stop. Yeah, stop. Please have to come to that. These guys are so malicious. the material that we sell them, they wouldn't even give us a material for us to manufacture it into some other thing. They alone have that machine, and they're taking our things and they can't allow us to have a machine. All these things is wickedness. Imagine they take our aluminum, they take our gold, they take all this, and at the same time we don't have a machine to process those things for ourselves. It have to stop, and it stopped right. That's all right now. Yes, Africa will be great again. They can't stop it. It was in the beginning, and it have to be in the end. Africa will be great again. And I want to know. I want all these so-called Americans who calling themselves American. You see that how wrong you are? You are so wrong. Not because you're born in America, you are Africans, you are Ethiopians. I want you to know that and realize that. Blackness belongs to Africa, Ethiopia. As long as you're a black man, you're an African. You remember that song? Anywhere you come from.
No matter where you come from.
Yes. No matter your nationality or your identity, you're an African. From your be black skin, you're an African. Even the brown skin took a black and brown and clear, you know. You see it? Yeah. A
But
black
Spice,
and
we know you're in the
black and
singing
brown.
mood. I hear
Black
the
and
melody coming up. Africa,
as
we
long
love
as
you now. Pull back
oh,
it.
not on. You see it because hey, this show not gonna mash up the world because look here now. Them born with school, them born with church. They try to hide with history. Think them lost we in the west, but we find we home free. You see it? Look how far them carry going to the west. You know, and Bobo Shanti. Hey, respect to Bobo cause from me a youth, Bobo saving money to go back to Africa. You know, every money Bobo get in change it out to Ethiopian currency from me a youth. And know say one day I'm going back because no care where I'm there. You know, they're Africa, you know, they're yard as a black man. And that is what these so-called people showing my people. Get out of my place. Get out. There are some people in Jamaica. Oh, they're not going back to Jamaica. They got to recheck now. You understand? And they have a lot of wealth in Jamaica. You know, they're even richer in Jamaica than in America. So I don't know how they understand what they're not going back to. You don't see it what happened now? Mutabaruka tell them long time say, it not nice to stay in a white man country too long. It not good to stay in a white man country too long as a black man. You understand? Because we are more progressive than they are. We are more hardworking. And they are here sitting on the system, living off the system. The system cannot give you a real life. This system cannot, we black people, we are ambitious. We want the best of everything. And we willing to work hard for it. And when you work hard and get it now, the Yankees them bad mind you for it. Because guess what happened? They're living off the system. Living off the system cannot give you a comfortable life. It can give you hand to mouth. But if you want something in life, you work for it. 2, 3, 4 jobs, and you get it. You understand? Yeah, you have to have your ambition in life to be self-reliant and self-sufficient. That is the reason why I'm working with the Ethiopian World Federation to build up my nation, build up my people, build up my generation, and build up my family, leave a legacy for our nation and our children that when we are gone from here, you know, a legacy. The white man legacy come through our foreparents' sweat, and they are trying to hide it, and it cannot be hidden, right? What they have come to, what they had really belong to us, but it's okay. We are God's children. We're not going to fight you for it. We just allow us to live free and function free. You understand? Yes, we need freedom. We need respect. We need protection also. Hey, you it's like that. The color of my skin is a crime. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. I'm a law keeper. Yes. Right now, when I see the CPR coming, I supposed to feel good because I'm saying courtesy. Yes, here comes courtesy, professionalism, and respect or respect. I want to call it. Oh no! Oh my God! We started to fret because me I wonder if them are gonna give me choke or chopping. I mean jumping and choke hole I jump in a minute. When we see them I come me
You
afraid,
might
you
get
know.
you might get a George Floyd.
Yeah, then me I tell you choke hole and step in a neck. Me say, me say the color of my skin must be crime. I mean, new tune that a new tune I come in. The color of my skin must be crime. See me I say CPR, courtesy, professionalism, and respect. When me see the cops them a come, me think me go get respect, but through the color of my skin, gunshot me might get. Me
Rhythm.
that, through the color of my skin, gunshot me might get. You understand?
Yes, yes,
Gunshot
yes.
me,
Yes.
the color of my skin, gunshot me might get. Hmm.
No,
Yep.
and a serious thing. It's not just poetry or song. This is something that actually happens among a nation of people because of the color of your skin. So it's not a case
Yes.
where they do happen. We have seen it happen so many times over and over again. But we're
Me
having
said
a
it.
great show. We are moving top of the hour. So first, Vice, I know you're on. We have our musical guest who always comes on and give us a little something for the evening as we come close to the hour. So first, Vice, if it's not too much to put you on the spot, you can grace us with a little song for the evening because you have your other listening audience out there. And when your concert comes along, they'll be quite familiar with you. So if you will be so obliged, you have the time first, Vice. Would it be all right?
Greetings. It's Peter Shelley, aka Majestic Carlton, original Kingston, Spanish Town, countryman, ancient man of Iration. And me I say, listen. Man before time, me turn man before time, car. Daddy run off and left my mother behind with three picking me and me on the inside. Said all the mountains and the hills and me struggle my mother climb. Them kind of thing they bring taste to me eyes. We see breakfast, lunch, dinner on time. Good clothes, shoes, pant foot looking well fine. Good education put me on the front line. So when we reach at the age about 10 to 9, me get up every day with my mother on my mind. Me say, anyway out, man, it me have to find. So me pray and listen to the voice of the most high. You know what man say? Buy some hooks and a ball of line. And meet me by the beach where everything will be fine. Say that me reach down on the shore to the east coast me line. Me catch a fish of all a color man class and size. Weeping mothers the mona go cry. Me have enough bread to eat and enough fish we fry. And a whole pan natural juice we make we feel fine. You want catch me lyrics, you have to rewind. Yes, man before time, turn man before time, car. Daddy run off and left my mother behind with three picking and me on the inside. Man before time, turn man before time, car. Daddy run off and left my mother behind with three picking and me on the inside. When all the mountains and the hills and me struggle, my mother climb. Them kind of thing they bring tears to me eyes. We see breakfast, lunch, dinner on time. Good clothes, shoes, pamphlet looking well fine. Good education put me on the front line. So when me reach at the age about 10 to 9, me get up every day with me mother and me mind. Me say anyway out, hit me up to find. So me pray and listen to the voice of the most high. You know the man say no? Buy some hooks and a ball of line. And I meet me by the beach where everything will be fine. Say that me reach down on the shore to the east coast me line. You don't know what now? Me catch a fish of all color man class and size.
What happened?
Weeping mother now go cry. Angels surround me like wall. Oh, Jaja, angels surround me like. Yeah, man, I say angels surround me like walls. Jaja, angels surround me like wall. Ja, angels surround me like walls. Pagans are fight, see the children fall. But the angels surround me like walls. Pagans are fight, see the children fall. But the angels surround me like walls. The angels surround me like walls. The angels surround me like walls. The angels surround me like wall. Pagans are fight, we see the children fall, but the angels surround me like wall. Well, it's a good thing me see the creator from it it's small, and enough time to rise, and enough time to fall. When you better know no cell phone no back against the wall. Because the angels surround me like walls. The angels surround me like walls. The angels surround me like walls. The angels surround me like walls.
The angels surround me like, angels surround me like, angels surround me like war. Me say me nah look back, nah turn back, Oh, woman Africa, me final stop, Nah look back, nah turn back. Mama Africa, me final stop, Nah look back, nah turn back, Oh, Mama Africa, me final stop, Nah look back, nah turn back, Oh, Mama Africa, me final. Colonialism, it no cater for the blacks, Trap it in a slavery, get rich out of we sweat, Them born with school, born with church, try to hide with history. Think them last we in the west, but we find we home free. Jordan, Nile, and the Red Sea. That's the place where the gods wanna be. That's the place of my fig tree. So me nah look back, Nah turn back, Oh, mama Africa, me final stop, Me nah look back, Nah turn back. Mama Africa, me final stop, Me nah look back, Me nah turn back. Mama Africa, me final stop. Me tired of them trick and them trap. Dragnet stumbling block. Me tired of them trick and them trap. Hey, say dragnet stumbling block. We tell them say we nah look back, we nah turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop, we nah look back, we nah turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop, we nah look back, we nah turn back. The Mama Africa, we final colonialism, it no cater for the blacks, we chop it. In a slavery get rich out of we sweat, Them born with school, born with church, try to hide with history, then think them last we in the west, but we find we home free. Jordan, Nile, and the Red Sea are the place where the gods wanna be. That's the place of my fig tree. So me nah look, nah turn. I'm a Africa we final. Nah look back, Nah turn. Eh, I'm a Africa we final. Stop, We nah look. Yo, a straight to Africa. No turn back. Me nah look back,
So
Blessed
it's
love.
right, as I
Oh,
said before, how timely. Your music is very timely. We at
yes,
the Ethiopian World Federation Local 26 is very proud of you. And we as
yeah.
soon our concert is coming up and we know you're going to deliver together with the other musicians. So as we wind up to the top of the hour, this is Sadie Gomez of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated Local
Look
26
back.
Woman
Nah
Auxiliary
turn
coming
back.
to you live and live. And we move to the top of the hour. We thank our wonderful listening audience out there. We didn't see much of you all, but we know that you all there. And as usual, our engineer Charlie, who's always there to deliver a big part of the family. For those who we didn't see, we want to just say really good night to those who came out with us. And see you next week, Sunday, same time, same place. So we want to say good night to our talk.
Blessed love.